Do you ever struggle with what to write on social media, especially for your business? This is the video for you. We're going to give you some easy writing prompts to make it super simple to write a social media post at any time, at any point in your business, in a way that's going to be compelling and useful to your audience. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emma Givens. I'm a copywriter, content marketing strategist, and writing coach for entrepreneurs like you. On this channel, we talk about copywriting, content marketing, and we also talk about mental health for entrepreneurs. So if those are interesting topics to you, please click the subscribe button and hit the little notification bell, because otherwise your subscriptions don't even show up in your own feed, which I think is completely insane, but that is what we're working with. So don't forget to hit that bell. All right, so today we're going to be talking about writing prompts that make it easy for you to write on social. And what often happens is I'll get a new client who comes to me saying, this is where I struggle the most. I hate logging onto Instagram because I don't know how to use it properly. I know it's fun for me when I'm just spending time on my couch scrolling by, but I don't know what the point is in using it for my business because people aren't engaging enough. People aren't going to my website. What am I supposed to be doing? I don't know what to say anymore. And they're very frustrated, and I can promise them that the reason that this is happening is simply because they never had a strategy for how to write content for Instagram. So you may have strategy for how often to post because you've probably read a little listicle about that. You may also have a strategy for how to comment on other people's posts in order to get a wider reach. But most people don't think about the fact that you need a strategy about what you're posting on Instagram to engage people and make them feel like this is a valuable account to follow. This is a valuable business for me to leave Instagram for and go off to their website. And let me note now that while I'm going to be talking a lot about Instagram because it just happens to be my favorite platform, and that is the same platform for a lot of my clients, this advice will work for LinkedIn. This will also work for Facebook, for pretty much any social media platform that you have in mind that has written content. So the one I might say it doesn't totally work for is TikTok. But for the most part, I would say a lot of the entrepreneurs I work with don't particularly use TikTok, especially because we want to be providing a ton of value. We're more long format kind of people, and TikTok is very, very short. So this is going to be most useful to you on Instagram, on Facebook, and LinkedIn. Okay, so we are going to be talking about writing prompts for 4 categories that I think are really important for social media. And I've talked about these before in one video, which is about the 3 ways to make posting on Instagram easier. That's going to be in a card up here. That's why I was doing this. And then I'm also publishing a video this month. This should be the next video that you'll see come out on how to use a 4th category, which is client success stories. But for now, since that video is not out yet, suffice it to say that client success stories are basically asking your customers, the ones you've actually worked with, before we worked together, what was the biggest struggle that you were experiencing? Why did you seek me out? How was the experience of working together? That's kind of the middle. And what have the results been as a result of working together? So that's the end. It's the beginning, middle, and end of your client's story. That's basically what it comes down to. So there's going to be a category that we're going to talk about this in, but the prompts themselves aren't reliant on you having a whole bunch of knowledge of the client success story category. These prompts will be able to stand on their own. I just want you to know what that name means. Okay, so if you want the full list of writing prompts, click the link in the description box below and you'll be able to get the full list on the blog. So what we're going to do together today is we're going to look at about 2 or 3 from each of the 4 categories to get you going. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot of ideas and you're suddenly going to have so much to say and not enough time to do it. So I really strongly recommend that probably not only you go to the link in the bio to see the blog post, but you might even want to bookmark the blog post because you're going to be able to go back to those prompts time and time again and never feel stuck for what to write. Okay, so we're going to start with the know, like, trust category. And one of my favorite prompts for this is, what are your 3 to 5 core values and why? I really love sharing core values. I think it's important to be clear on them so you can make great business decisions and basically great life decisions. But the reason I think it's important to share is because it's really important that your values are aligned with those of your ideal clients and customers. Essentially, like any relationship, right? You need to share values in common. So if you value trust and someone else, it doesn't really matter to them, and it's okay for them to tell lies pretty frequently, that relationship's going to break down, right? So even with something not as extreme as trust, but the way that you value your time, the way that you focus and prioritize how you live your life that is really important to your ideal customers as well, because it shows what their relationship is going to be like with you. And then also, do they want to align themselves with you? Are you the person they want to give money to? Right? It's a really important question. So I think it's really important to be very forthcoming about your values. And then when you share a value word that really resonates with your people, they're going to feel like, oh, this is my kind of person. This is the kind of account I want to follow. This is the kind of person that I would want to work with. One easy one, well, it depends on if you're this kind of person, but if you choose like a theme or a word for the year, share it. So my theme for the year is ... and why. And this is another one that I really like because it's easy to show your ideal client why they should be reading because it's about them essentially. So you can start in two ways. You could say, you're why I started this business because, or you could say, I started this business because, and then still talk about why it's useful to them, right? So usually we start a business for a few reasons. We probably, as entrepreneurs, want some autonomy. We want to be able to decide how much income we make versus having some person tell us that this is the cap. There's a lot of reasons, but there's also the reason that we want to give something to the world. We want to be creative and inspire people or make people happy with the products we create. We want to make their lives easier. So maybe it's easier for them to get up and down the stairs as a result of our product. We want to help them with transformation, particularly if you're any kind of coach. We know as entrepreneurs that our success is dependent on the success of the people we help. So let's share why we started this business and focusing on how we started it to serve a need, to fill a need. Okay, so let's go on to the expert or education category. One of my favorites is to share a commonly held truth about your industry and then say whether you agree or disagree with it. A similar one is this sentence starter. So, a huge myth about my industry is that ... And then you go myth busting. People love when you go myth busting. And then this one is a little bit more to show off your expertise. And it is, a common question I get from my clients is ... and I tell them ... right? So you're showing you have clients, you have them commonly, and that also this is something that you know like the back of your hand and your answer is tried and true. So it's just so solid in terms of setting you as the expert. Okay, so now offers. And offers can be free, like your free downloadable checklist, or paid, like your half-day live event that's coming up in a few months. So one way to write this kind of post is to think about, okay, what is the biggest frustration that I'm solving for them with this checklist or with this event or with whatever it is that you're offering? What is their biggest dissatisfaction or frustration that you are trying to solve? And you ask them if they relate to it. So you could also put even a little list. You could say, does this resonate with you? Bullet point. It's hard to fall asleep at night. I stay awake worrying about if my business is making enough money. I'm sick of stepping on Legos on the floor. Whatever it is that you do, like just highlight their pain point in either one sentence or a couple bullet points. So does this resonate with you? And then go into explaining why your offer will solve this for them or why it'll alleviate this pain. And here's another easy example of how to pitch an offer on social media. And it's really, really easy. The structure is want blank, like want more confidence when putting on your clothes in the morning, grab my downloadable checklist of the 5 core pieces to have in any wardrobe, something like that, right? The key is make sure that you also, for either of these offer prompts or for any time you write about an offer, whatever style you want to go with, always tell them how to take advantage of it. So you have to say, download it at the link in my bio, or click the link in the first comment below in the social media context. Or you can even say something like 10% off expires at midnight. Hop over to intrepidemma.com to go take advantage. And then the final prompts are in the category client success story. So in the graphic part, so like in the photo on Instagram, you can also use a photo on Facebook or LinkedIn, that's where you could put the testimonial. But then you can use your caption, especially if you're on a place like LinkedIn, which is a very short caption space. Use that to tell their story, the client success story of the beginning, middle, and end. And of course, you also have their own words there in the graphic. So this really solidifies, it must be great to be a client of yours. Do make sure that you have their permission, right? If you're going to be sharing particularly any specific client backstory, or I would also consider if you're like a life coach or something like that, and they might share something a little bit more emotional, or maybe that could have been private, just be sure that what you share publicly on social media in terms of their story is also approved by them, just like you would want them to approve the testimonial. Another way to do that is to say, just got news from my client, name. that they are now bringing in 10 customers a day through their Facebook ads. Let's say that that's what you help people with, is write Facebook ads, right? So that is fantastic. That client success story is not only you celebrating them, it also obviously reflects super well on you, and the person reading will realize, hey, this person is great at what they do. Look at that happy client. And this is kind of a bonus tip, but if you're ever stuck as well for another prompt for offers, you could always start with the client success story and then at the very end mention the offer that success came from and how to go and take advantage of it on their own, how to go buy it themselves. All right, so those are some writing prompts. So you're no longer staring at a screen when you're trying to post on social media. That means every single one of those categories is super strategic as well, and they're doing something worthwhile for your business. You're not writing a simple descriptive caption that explains what's in the photo, right? You're actually doing something that's either building trust with your audience, making them feel like they like you, helping them understand how you can help them, telling them, oh, I have a sale on right now, go take advantage of it. There's always something intentional behind it. And if you're just starting out with this sort of intentionality in your posts, just try doing, for 4 days, use one of these writing prompts, right? And from each of these categories. And for more writing prompts, go check out the link in the description. That'll take you to the full blog post with even more writing prompts than we covered today. All right, thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell and give this video a like. That way other people can find it as well, and it'll help them write great social media posts too. Thank you for joining me. Remember, your voice matters. Set it free. See you next time.